There we go. Fabulous. Okay, well, welcome everybody to our Meaningful Stories event, Meaningful Stories of Health and Hope. So my name is Malia. This is my husband, Cody. We will be sharing our stories with you later on tonight, but we just wanted to welcome you. We're just really excited to just have just a casual conversation tonight. We just have something that's really near and dear to our hearts that we just want to share with other people. So thank you for taking the time to jump on tonight and to tune into our stories. So I'm going to hand it over to Christian.
Yes, hello. Oh, we got some other people joining. Yay. So nice to see you all. Thank you guys for sharing your Monday night with all of us. My name is Christian Stallings, and I live in Wilmington, North Carolina. I am a wife and a mom. I always forget Jordan. Like, I don't mean it intentionally. I'm a wife to Jordan, and I have 3 boys. I have an 8-year-old, a 4.5-year-old, and an almost 9-month-old. I've been a nurse for the last 10.5 years, and I have struggled with autoimmune disease my whole entire life. So I'll share that story with you in just a few minutes. But we realize a lot of you guys joining us tonight may not even be aware of our community. And so many of us on here are part of an incredible community that we partnered with the Juice Plus company. And our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. And we do that with simple tools that we fuel our tool belt with. And one of those things being the tool of Juice Plus, which is just fruits and vegetables in a capsule. So really quickly, before we get started, because our stories will make so much sense, we're going to go over just kind of briefly what that is, just to give you a little bit of context. But our unique nutritional philosophy within our community is one simple change at a time. We really try to focus on bridging the gap between what we are eating and then what we should be eating every single day consistently, because that's what matters. We are not about rigid diets. We are not about demanding exercise programs. We really believe in just sustainable changes in our diet and lifestyle is what becomes the catalyst to overall better health, right? Like if we can develop these simple, tiny habits, which I can speak to in our own personal journey within my family, it wasn't this overnight change. We're still on this journey almost 8 years later. It's these tiny little changes that truly have impacted. And for many of us, Juice Plus capsules were our first step, because many of us were honestly just overwhelmed in this season of life, but we needed our help. And that was an easy thing that we could do consistently. So what is Juice Plus? It is fruits, veggies, and berries and omegas in a capsule. This is what we have. You can go to the next slide, Malia, and because I love this picture, it shows what all is in these incredible capsules. All of these fruits and vegetables have been grown on the vine till they're at the peak of ripeness. They've been farmed, so they've been pulled from their plant, and they have been what I like to say pulverized, because the really cool thing is they use all the seeds, the leaves, the skins, the peels, the entire plant. And then they're dehydrated and you're left with plant powders. And so you can see all the different fruits, veggies, and berries that go into what we call the trio. And then we have vegan omegas, where they actually cut out the middleman, which is the fish, and they went straight to the omega source, which is the algae. And I never knew, I thought we always got our omegas from fish, and I never knew we got it from the algae. And so what I loved about that they were vegan was the fact that we're less exposed to toxins, because fish from the ocean can have a lot of like heavy metals and things like that. And so for me as a nurse, a few things that set Juice Plus apart from everything else were really 3 things. The first one is on the back of our bottles, it has a nutrition facts label. So many things you'll see have a supplement label, like vitamins. This is not a vitamin, it's just food. So it has nutrition facts, just like a bag of broccoli would. And I loved that, because I was like, oh my goodness, I need more food. And that made sense to me. The second thing, especially because I'm a nurse and I share this with mainly mamas who are trying to start a family or are pregnant or postpartum breastfeeding, all the things, is I needed to make sure that it was going to be 100% safe for everybody, right? And so the way I'm able to ensure that is Juice Plus products are NSF certified. And that is a third-party company that comes in to test to make sure that what's on the label is in the product and nothing else, but also to make sure that it's free from any harmful substances. So anything like heavy metals, mold, yeast, bacteria, fungi. And I always tell people, so that makes me feel know that it's safe from womb to tomb. And then the third thing, which is what made me say yes to this mission, as a nurse was Juice Plus is the most researched nutritional product in the entire world. We now have, I think, 42 published studies that actually show what they do in the body. And the really cool thing is, what I love to tell people is, it's not that Juice Plus is this incredible magical tool, right? The plants are. The plants that God put on this earth is what our bodies need. And our incredible company just came up with a way for us to be able to get that into our body every single day consistently. And then the research just shows how powerful plants are. And so that's our mission, is to really bring to light, like, fruits and vegetables aren't just good for you. They're so good for you that they could save your life. And so that's kind of where my journey started 7 years ago. I found myself desperate for my health. I've grown up with autoimmune my entire life since the age of 3, eczema, asthma, and allergies. And if it's out there, I did it. Steroid creams, inhalers. I was your chronically sick child every single month on an antibiotic, had my tonsils and adenoids removed, allergy shots, inhalers. Lord, everything, all the way. I was very active into sports all through middle school and high school, but I was just really self-conscious of how my body looked with my eczema, pushed through playing sports, using my inhaler every game, and kind of into my adulthood, even into college and nursing school, I had kind of just chalked it up to, well, this is as good as it's going to get. Like, I've done everything, seen all the doctors, and no one told me nor my mom what you put on the end of her fork really could matter. And so fast forward to, I became a new mom, and I was postpartum, and I just was not recovering well postpartum. I needed to nap every single day. My body just felt so achy and tired all the time. And I all of a sudden was a lot more aware of what I was putting on or in my body really mattered because of my new baby and nursing. And so that is what led me into, well, how do I heal autoimmune from the inside out? Because medications are no longer an option. And so I really started to dig into the research, and everything pointed back to fruits and vegetables. Most places recommended juicing, but again, I was already overwhelmed in new mom world and did not have any intentions to juice. I just knew I was not going to be consistent with that. And that's when a friend of mine shared Juice Plus with me. And number one, it made sense because it was simple. It was backed by research, and I said, oh my gosh, this is like juicing done for me. And so immediately I said yes. Within a few weeks, I just didn't need my afternoon nap. I just had this sustained energy, was craving water, craving more fruits and vegetables, which then became the catalyst for me to want to cook healthier meals or get outside and exercise. But a year in, my eczema and asthma symptoms stopped. And so those medications got to stop. And really my most significant impact with a healthier lifestyle, and Juice Plus being kind of the catalyst that led all that, was 3 years in, 30 allergens that I've been allergic to my entire life are gone. I have an anaphylactic allergy to tree nuts and have been hospitalized 5 different times for almonds, but I now eat and drink almonds. I drink almond milk and eat almonds every single day. And that was the light bulb of, oh my gosh, our body is incredible, and it really can. The Lord has designed it in such a way for it to heal itself when we're able to give it the nutrition that it needs. And that's just really hard to do. We need 5 or 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day, which is the size of our fist. And that's just on a normal good day. You know, if we already have disease going on, or we're extra stressed, which, hello, the last 18 months, I think we can all say we're a little extra stressed than normal, you know, or we are just exposed to more toxins. We need more antioxidants to neutralize that stress on our bodies. And so I could truly sit here for the next hour and go on and on about what my family has experienced in the last 8 years. But it really was the most incredible impact. And so that is why I do what I do now, is because I realized, oh my gosh, like, everybody needs more fruits and vegetables. And I knew from personal experience that, again, it was very hard to do, really hard to get the amount or the variety. You know, we were good at being intentional, but sometimes the variety was hard. That I just became kind of ignorance on fire in sharing. I don't know if this would be for you, but I know, you know, I began hearing pain points for health in my friends and my family. But then I got to be a part of this community, and I was kind of overwhelmed by the amount of medical professionals that were actually helping people focus on, like, taking control of their health versus just managing their disease. And so that was my journey. Started 6 years ago, and the Lord has just brought so many incredible things into my life. With that, I was able to leave bedside nursing almost 2 years ago, right before 2020 happened, having no idea what was around the corner, to be home, to be able to homeschool my boys, and to still partner along with families and really impact health, but from a much different perspective than I feel like is the main kind of driving narrative right now. So thank you guys for listening. Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Awesome. Okay, well, my name is Kelly Petrovich, and I'm so honored to be on this call tonight and to know Malia and Christian. It's just been a joy to partner with them and to share my. So you would have looked at me and thought I was healthy 7 years ago. Yes, this year is my 7th year. I was 22 years old, almost 23. And literally struggling a lot with my health. And what that meant at that time in my life was literally chronically exhausted. I was burning the candle at both ends. I was a full-time college student at UNF. My background's in public health. So I was, and then working in the restaurant about 5 shifts a week. So that looked like a banana out the door, maybe a fruit or vegetable at night, if that, but really was not getting in a lot of plant nutrition. So I was chronically exhausted, literally napped almost every single day. I was really struggling in my immune system. I would get sick, like whatever went around. I was kind of, honestly, that was my normal, even as it kind of came the joke in the family. Oh, that Kelly's sick again. And I'm like, this is not funny. So these things were normal. And then the third thing, big one for me, was mentally. Since I was a kid, right around middle school, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and then, just blue moods. And that runs in my family, anxiety and depression. And so in 8th grade, I got put on medication. And when I share my story, I always want to be sensitive to the fact that medication is okay if we need it. But for me, I took it for so many years. It wasn't just a season. And so I thought, again, that would be my normal. And I took it all the way through high school, all the way through early college, and not realizing the power of food and that the gut brain is a connection and that food makes a big difference. So those things is what, those are the things that I was experiencing at that time. And my best friend lovingly shared Juice Plus with me. And I kind of put my hand up. I was like, I take my multivitamins. I'm good. I was very skeptical. I just didn't understand the concept. I didn't understand the fact of what Christian shared, that it's pulverized fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I kind of was like, how do they even do that? But when I actually took a look at it, and I'm grateful she didn't give up on me. She just kept educating me, loving on me, meeting me where I was, but she knew I was struggling. I was sick all the time and all those things that I listed out. I'm grateful because eventually I got it and I said yes. And I had no expectations of what it would do for me. Again, didn't really know the power of whole food nutrition until I noticed better sleep at night, which meant stable energy throughout the day. So I was more productive, and that was really eye-opening for me. I noticed that for the first time, everyone was sick around me, and I actually didn't catch it. So I was like, that's interesting. There's got to be something to this. And then about 6 months into my journey, so again, this takes time. It's nutrition. It's not overnight. I remember sitting in class, and I was just had so much mental clarity, clearer thoughts, happier moods, and just less anxious. And so that's when I really took a look at what it really was, and just the research behind it. And I was actually in my Research for Health class learning the importance of peer-reviewed, double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. And I texted Christy and I was like, Juice Plus has legitimate research. She's like, I know, I've been telling you this. So all the light bulbs were going off. And because of my experience, I was naturally wanting to share that with all of my loved ones, my best friends, my siblings, my parents, and that just really began the ripple effect. And so it just made sense for me to partner with this company, especially a lot of what I was learning in school. It only made sense that people need more fruits and vegetables. We're not getting enough. There was a lot of people like me that may have looked healthy on the outside, but really were struggling with internal things. That really is a gap in their diet because of or doesn't cut it, right? But that's the reality that we face. And so that's the beginning of my journey. And I just, looking back now, I'm a wife and a mom. So that was before these most precious years of now running a family and growing a baby. And my baby's now a year old. So the product has served me just in so many beautiful seasons, but I was able to, again, the more energy, better immune system, I was able to wean myself off my medication, which was a huge, huge blessing. But I had the healthiest pregnancy, textbook pregnancy, and a beautiful postpartum and breastfeeding. So I'm just so grateful. And now I feed it to him. We make smoothies all the time. I dump the capsules in his food. So that says a lot. If you can give a product to, like Christian said, womb to tomb, super safe. For all populations. And so being a part of the community has, I remember when I first joined, I just wanted to get my loved ones started, and that ripple effect began. And then I remember being able to replace my income to have Sundays off so I could go to church, because I was working at the restaurant. That was a high dollar day. And that was a fun thing to achieve. And then when I worked in my field for a very short amount of time, I knew that I wanted to be able to stay home with a future baby. And that was a big part of what this impact I've been able to have over the last 7 years. That's been a dream realized that I'm so, so grateful for. I haven't been able to really trade my values for work, but still serve people in a way that really makes a huge impact and honors my family. And I know the Lord too, because he made the fruits and vegetables. So that's my story in a nutshell. I tried to keep it short, but I'll share a little bit more at the end. So go ahead, Malia.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate it. So my name is Malia Wambolt. And again, this is my husband, Cody Wambolt. So I'm going to start with my story first. So we were introduced to Juice Plus about 4 years ago now, I think it was. And, you know, I had studied nutrition and dietetics, and I knew that we were not getting in the fruits and vegetables that we needed. And so when someone, you know, I knew that we needed to bridge the gap. So I started to find some supplements for us, some multivitamins. I went to a store, I didn't really know too much about it. And I got some multivitamins for us to try to bridge those gaps. And through that, I ended up getting terrible stomach pain. I just never had peace of mind, because I just didn't know, like, what is this doing in our body? You know, is this helping us or is this hurting us? And when I developed that like terrible stomach pain, I just stopped altogether. And fortunately, a couple months later, someone at my networking group introduced me to Juice Plus being fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And so, of course, going to school for nutrition and dietetics, I was very incredulous, and I'm like, yeah, right, it's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. So I looked at the ingredients list and I was like, okay, it looks like that's really what it is. And when we had a conversation, she told me about the research, and I was really blown away that it had research. So not only was it fruits and veggies in a capsule, which gave me peace of mind, but also this research showing what it actually did in your body, which is another concern of mine, was also another box that was checked. So I knew that we definitely needed it. So we started taking it. And, you know, I just wanted to use it as a form of insurance. I wasn't desiring to like see any changes necessarily. But a couple weeks in, we both noticed, you know, better baseline energy. And we, you know, a couple months in, I really noticed that on a weekly basis, I used to struggle with like just like chronic malaise is what I like to call it. So like headaches, nausea, and fatigue, like the big three, just on a weekly basis, would just come home complaining about that. And so, you know, a couple months in, I noticed that really wasn't happening anymore. And then as an adult in college, high stress and all things going on, I had developed some adult onset acne. So about 5 months in of taking the capsules consistently, I noticed that my skin had cleared. So I just wanted to show you a picture of that. This was the only thing that I had changed. And so really, I was noticing these changes in my health, but this was a real picture of just kind of like, you know, that nutrition and how it was making impact for me internally. And then it was ultimately showing externally too, in my skin becoming healthier. So that was really, really exciting. And of course, you know, if you've ever struggled with skin issues, you know that it's not fun. And you try to find any way that you can to kind of clear that up. So that really gave me such peace of mind. And so for the business for me, you know, I had literally prayed for something like this. I loved the idea of creating an income that was kind of like, you know, a passive income that you could grow, something that would give me options. You know, I really didn't believe in myself about 4 years ago when I was working at a job at a weight loss clinic. And, you know, it was one of those things where they told you when you had to be there and you were there and you'd have to ask permission to leave. And I was in a cubicle, no windows, would be by myself. Sometimes I wouldn't even see clients for hours at a time, but I still had to be there alone in this office. And I just realized that I didn't quite have the freedoms that I wanted. I wanted to be able to do, to create maybe my own schedule someday, and to be able to get more flexible with what I wanted to do nutrition wise and work wise and all of that. I wanted to have more options and more control. So, when I learned about the business side of Juice Plus too, it just made so much sense to me, because I felt like, this is something that I saw that what if factor, I saw the what if factor of like, okay, well, maybe this could be something that could create that lifestyle for us that I'm envisioning. And worst case scenario, we're taking something that's going to better our health, right? If it doesn't work out. And fortunately, I'm here to say that, for the business, it has been such a life-giving experience, being able to help people just make this one simple change and see a big difference in their health. And, I really just encourage my clients. I still work with people one-on-one nutrition wise. And I say like, okay, the nutrition from Juice Plus can make such a huge impact, but it's such a small thing that you can do. And Kelly really helped me to see that really that's what we can offer with the business too, is that the business might be something that could make a huge difference in someone's life as well, financially. So that's why I'm passionate about sharing both. I really consider it my business ministry, being able to share better health with others, but then also options for the family for, job wise. And so I really wanted my husband to share his story of how Juice Plus impacted his health, but also just kind of his perspective on the business too, because, we're in this together. So take it away.
All right, the moment everyone's been waiting for. Obviously, you're all here for me. But like Malia said, I'm Cody, and I've known Malia for 12 years. We went to high school together, and she's filming me while I'm being recorded on the computer. The redundant recording. But so I've known Malia for 12 years, and for 10 of those years, she has been a nutrition and dietetics lunatic. She studies and researches nutrition like nobody I've ever seen study anything. And so when she found out about Juice Plus and said, hey, I think we should start taking this, and it had the Malia stamp of approval, it was kind of a no-brainer for me, because obviously I'm going to take her word for whatever she thinks is, the best for us nutritionally. And I think that I could probably give Christian and Kelly a run for their money as far as sickliness growing up. I was born with a VSD, or also known as a hole in the heart. I also had chronic ear infections, hearing problems. I spent all of my childhood on antibiotics and steroids, which I think, I don't think my parents knew, but definitely set me up for a lifetime struggle of autoimmune issues. And so my baseline understanding of spring, summer, and fall was asthma and allergies. And my expectation for the winter was a cold, maybe once or twice a month. My family called me Bubble Boy because I was always sick. And that was really my way of life for 20 some odd years, was just always being sick. Always had weird, unusual cases where I'd have to go to the hospital, and doctors would want to research me because it was so strange to see a young, otherwise healthy person with these weird issues like ulcerative colitis or stomach ulcers or shingles at age 13, and just weird stuff that was very uncommon. So when, like I said, Malia said, hey, I think we should start doing this, I was like, sure, of course. Who am I to question her knowledge? And so we started taking it. And I think the major thing, I think I hear this all the time, not unlike Christian's story and Kelly's story and Malia's story, is about 6 to 12 months in, something happens or doesn't happen when you go, oh, wait, this is different. This is not what I've come to expect. And for me, it was the allergies. I got through, an entire summer and realized, wait, I haven't taken Claritin. I haven't taken Zantac or any of these other things that I would always take. I haven't needed to reach for some sort of inhaler. And I was like, wow, the only thing that's different is that we've been on Juice Plus for about 6 months. And that was the first thing that really stuck out to me, is like, okay, this is really cool. And, all this research that Malia's been raving about and reading to me in the car, there must be something to it. And so I've been sold out on the nutrition side of it, the consumer side, if you will, taking it since then. I mean, my overall baseline of health is so much higher than it used to be, that there's just no denying that it's a direct result of adding Juice Plus to my life. And from that perspective, I can't recommend it enough. But the different story was the business side of things. And when Malia told me, hey, I'm gonna, start exploring this business and trying to, develop my own business of selling this stuff to other people, I think my red flags and radar went off, thinking, okay, what are you getting into, right? Just the concerned husband mode, I guess. And when she told me, it's multi-level marketing, I start, the first thing that you think of is, oh, okay, this might be some sort of scam. This might be something that you're getting roped into and you don't understand, we're going to be buried in boxes of products, or you're going to have some sort of sales quota that you're going to have to hit every month. And who knows where you're going. So I was much more reticent about her getting involved in the business at first. But as I explored it with her, I was every kind of box that needed to be checked for me to feel comfortable was checked along the way. I would say the major things about the way that Juice Plus does its business model that are different than maybe other more, if not nefarious, at least challenging MLM models, which this was a whole new education for me as well. There is no monthly sales quotas. So if someone is trying to grow their Juice Plus business and trying to, sell you on taking it yourself, they're doing it out of a sense of inner motivation. They're doing it because they want to, not because they have to. No one is in the business saying, hey, you got to meet this quota or you're out of the business. There's none of that. The other thing was, my big concern is, hey, any other time I've seen one of these MLMs, it's like $2,500 or $5,000 to, buy in, and they send you boxes of products, and then you have to dig yourself out of this hole just to kind of pay for getting involved. And she told me, well, all I can see is that they're saying it costs $52. And I was like, wait, it's only $52? Like, what about the product and all that? And she's like, well, they just set you up with a website and you sell the product, and the company ships it directly to the customer. So you don't handle any products, and you're not given any initial package or something that you have to sell. And I was like, wow, okay. So very, very low risk to get involved. And I guess some of the other things I was concerned about was just like, well, how do you actually advance in the company? How do you grow your business? Because typically these things are set up so that if the people that are, signed you up aren't doing well, you're not going to do well. And the way that they've set up their model is there is no ceiling to growth. So you're not beholden to the people above you to advance to a certain level in the company or promotion in the company before you can do it. It literally is all on you as the individual to advance as far as you want to at your own pace. And what all of this reflected to me was that this company is for real in terms of what they're actually saying they believe in. They say their mission is to spread healthy living, and from how many years? 4 years? 3 years?
For us?
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah. 4 years of involvement. I've seen nothing that's contradicted that statement. And trust me, I've been looking. And what's really interesting is, every time we're on a long car ride, Malia wants to listen to other Juice Plus calls and podcasts, not unlike this one. And I can't tell you how common it is to hear stories of other people in the business, especially the woman who got involved, who then panicked because her husband panicked and said, no, you can't do this. This is some sort of scam. And then upon doing their research, realized it wasn't, and that it was legit and safe, that they circled back and got involved in the business. And then the husband ends up being the most, motivated one. But so the health side for me was a no-brainer from the start. The business side was a harder sell for me, but we're 4 years in, and the financial stability that it's helped to bring us. Malia and I both run our own businesses, which can have a lot of ups and downs. And the fact that, we're basically paying our mortgage with passive income every month. It's amazing. So I don't really know if I can say anything more than that, but let me know if you have questions.
Yay, thank you so much for that. Okay, you guys, so just to wrap us up, I just wanted to show you this really cool visual that I did at another one of my events called the Label Detective event. And so, because of course, some people are new to investing in their health, right? Like maybe you're not used to, making a purchase like Juice Plus or having a coach or something like that, right? So I just wanted to show you something. These are foods that deplete us, right? They're inexpensive, cheap ingredients. They're making us sick. They're causing a lot of issue for us. So as we can see, the different prices from the snack packs, $7.79 for these chips, $3.79 for the Oreos, $2 for a lean cuisine, which is, it's just one meal. And so all of these things are going to be contributing to disease in the body. And then we go to our healthy foods, right? Versus the cost of foods that are nourishing us. And again, we look at one bell pepper being $2.49, one bell pepper, $2.49, a head of broccoli being $3.49, one apple was one organic Honeycrisp apple, $2.07, right? $3.99 for organic raspberries and $2.99 for one thing of butterhead lettuce. And then of course, we look at our favorite thing, coffee, right? And so even in that small or tall category, we can see that, just our coffees can be anywhere from $2.95 all the way up to close to $5, right? So it's just good to kind of like see kind of like these little expenses that maybe aren't even necessarily nourishing us or are nourishing us, and kind of getting the picture of what that looks like. And then compare that to Juice Plus with a different 30 different fruits, veggies, and berries being $2.50 a day. Isn't that really cool? So just try to think, if I were to give you $2.50 and say, go into the grocery store and make yourself a shake, you'd be able to get like one organic Honeycrisp apple? Like that's a delicious shake. But no, I'm just kidding. But for real, it is good to kind of see that and be able to understand, like if you're new to investing in your health, seeing how magnificent of an investment that this can be, because not only are you getting, this massive variety, you're getting the color, and you're able to do that on a daily basis for $2.50 a day for this trio, the 30 different fruits, veggies, and berries. So that is it for me, and Kelly is just going to wrap us up.
Okay, well, thank you. Cody,
Oh no, it froze. Classic. Hopefully it unfreezes.
Did we freeze, or did she freeze?
Are we frozen?
Ellie's frozen.
Okay.
No, this is so sad because she wasn't frozen this whole entire time.
I know. Do you want me to go? And if she comes back, I'll let her take over.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I think Kelly was going to say what an incredible job you did. I loved hearing your story. I literally resonated with every single thing, from the Claritin to the Singulair to all the things, the Zyrtec. Like I remember one day standing outside, and it's that season of pollen where it's like snowing pollen. And I was just like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to breathe. And it was like, wait, I don't have a stuffy nose and my eyes aren't swollen up. This is like, what is happening? So really, that was really cool to hear all that. So we're going to close. If Kelly hops back on, I will let her share because she always does a really great job at this, but there's a lot of different ways that you guys can get plugged into our community. And we would love, whoever invited you would love to get you connected to whatever resource that you may need. So a few ways to get involved. Number one, you can just bridge the gap. If Juice Plus makes sense to you, you're someone who wants to be intentional with your health. I think right now, Kelly, yay! I was just starting, so I'll let you do this part because you always do such a beautiful job.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know how I got kicked out, but
okay.
just yes, you can start by adding in Juice Plus, bridging that gap in your diet. Peace of mind, especially if you're a mom, like bridging the gap every single day by adding in one of the Juice Plus products. And there's more than just the capsules that we shared. And you can ask the person that invited you to learn more of all that we have, just very few products. You can enroll in our Healthy Starts for Families program. So that's a program where you sponsor a child for free for 4 years, which is pretty incredible for them to get Juice Plus into their bodies. Or if you're sitting here thinking of, your best friend, your family, your siblings, whoever that you want to impact and share Juice Plus with, we invite you to join our mission. It's $52 a year, so $1 a week. Own virtual franchise. And really our company is a combination of the best business models of direct sales, network marketing, franchising, and corporate America. Literally the best of those 4 models is what makes up our business model. And our mission is so needed in today's world. One of the beautiful things I was thinking about when it comes to our paycheck, it's really a direct reflection of how many people we get to help. And I could be in tears thinking that in the next couple of weeks, one of my customers is due with her very first baby, and it's a Juice Plus pregnancy, and we're literally impacting the genetics of future generations. So that's just a little something I wanted to share when it comes to really what we're a part of. It's so much more than fruits, vegetables in a capsule. It's really generational health. So we invite you to join our mission, and we also have free resources. So please get back with the person that invited you to learn more of how you can get your hands on some awesome stuff, especially our holiday cookbook that's all plant-based and totally free. So that's all that we have tonight. Let me know if I'm missing anything, you guys, but we're just grateful that you joined.
Yes, absolutely. Nope, that's it. So I'm going to stop recording. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.